Back to Arc Tutorials. This is Angular 14 complete CRUD tutorial series. This is a masterclass series, which means everything will be done from ground up to the application that we are trying to build, right? So all the use cases will be covered. And also it's a masterclass, which means I will be doing live coding. So which means that we will learn together. I'll encourage you to start coding with me if you are learning Angular with me. That being said, this is part 2. If you have missed out the part 1, please do check out. I have covered some basics and about the project, about the REST concepts, about the CRUD concepts, etc. Today we will be focusing on setting up the app UI theme and template. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, before I go ahead, I'll give you complete project support for this particular series. I'll make sure all the code is 100% free and accessible to you. I'll upload that in a GitHub also, so you will have that ready. If you are looking for free Angular themes to download, that's what we will be using, which is WrapPixel. So make sure that you go and check out and download your free theme. If you have any doubts or support, please write to me at surya.aradhya@gmail.com. And if you like my work and tutorials, consider giving super thanks to me on YouTube. Thank you in advance. All right, so what we are doing, we are building a CRUD based on a contact management system, just like Google, not exactly like Google, but more or less the concepts and the functionality like that of Google. We'll have labels, we'll have create new contact, etc., etc. So we'll learn as we go along. So check out contacts.google.com if you want to refer to what we are trying to build. Yeah, and now let's get started with our app setup and development part. All right, I hope you're excited as I am to start this series and start coding. But before that, let's do a quick sanity check on your system and make sure that everything is all right. So what I want you to do is type hyphen version. So node hyphen hyphen version, so it will show you which version of node you are running. Make sure that if you don't see that, that means node is not installed. Okay, and then you might also want to do npm hyphen hyphen v, which will give you npm. Okay, so once these two are done, that means your system is good to go ahead with Angular CLI and Angular application. We need Visual Studio Code that I already have, so make sure that you have done the sanity check on your system. The next thing we are going to do is we need a free Angular admin theme so that we will learn how to build existing theme or existing application. The idea is to we can do it ourselves, but most likely you will be when you're joining at a company or any project, there will be some code already. So what I want to show you is how to use existing templates, existing theme, understand it, build on top of it, right? So we will be using wrappixel.com. So let's go there and pick up a theme that we want. So there are multiple Material Pro is the theme that I would go with. So there are multiple themes. There are some paid higher versions which has a lot of built-in apps, dashboard, everything. What I want you to do is pick up this theme for me, which is Material Pro, free theme. You can see here. You can click on it, and you will need to register. I've already registered, and it will ask you to download. So you will have an option to for free and pro version. For pro version you have to upgrade, but we'll go with the free one. So download it and it should be good. All right. If it doesn't, so it will download immediately. If you have any questions or doubts, again I'll encourage you to reach out to me in the comment section or in the um, or through email. Okay, so that's it. We got a theme. If you want to check it out, you can click live preview. You can see what the theme is about, etc., etc. I will leave it up to you to explore that. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I will encourage you to check it out and check out the paid version also. You have a lot of different apps and widgets. For now, we got the downloaded zip file, and if you see here, I have a folder. Okay, and here I have it empty, right? So I just copied the zip file here. Now that means I just have the zip file in this folder, nothing else. See, I'm in that folder and I have only the zip file. Okay, so we can extract it right now, and once you extract, you would get Angular Material Pro folder that you would see. It has different landing. It has a landing page. It has Angular 14 template and an Angular 13 template. Now we are doing Angular 14. Okay, so what we need to do next is navigate to that folder. I hope it's clear so far. I hope you are with me and you got this theme. So let's go ahead and go into Angular 14. I'm right now in Angular 14 folder. Okay, so what I want you to do now is first check out, since we are using this, I want you to go through the package.json. Okay, that is because I want you to see that whenever you join a new project or a new company and you go to a new project, how do you do start, right? From where do you start? So you first go to package.json. So let's go ahead to into the Angular 14 and go into package.json. So then you would see all the Angular dependencies and Angular framework, everything is on Angular 14. If you see here, these are all on Angular 14. Okay, now same thing, if you see the Angular dependencies that it is working with, like material, it's on 14, and you have charts, core, CDK is also on 14. So all good. So we are on Angular 14, and these are some of the script commands, that is start, build, watch, and test. Okay, so that's the basic of this particular package.json. The first thing that you should do when you get a repo like this is do a npm install. When you do an npm install, it would go to package.json and get all the dependencies and put it in a node modules folder here for us. So this may take a couple of seconds or minutes depending upon your bandwidth, but in the meanwhile, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe button, and let me know how we are doing. Again, I'll encourage strongly that if you face any problem, anything, just reach out to me in the comments section or direct email. Alright, so we have installed, it has installed all the packages that this particular theme would need, and you see the node modules folder. Now it's time to create and run the application just to ng serve. If everything goes fine, you should be able to see the application up and running in your system. Okay, so it has created a dist and .angular. This is the only first time, it may take little while since it will compile all the packages. So stay with it and you will be pro in Angular with me. Alright, so building is done. Okay, so now you see it's up and running on localhost 4200. Let's go ahead and type that and see. There you go. So we have got our application up and running. The theme is up and running. Nice and good theme. Love the color. And we have all the functionality that you might want to check. These are the basics of Angular material, which is buttons, grid list, lists, all that is included. If you upgrade to pro version, you get a lot of built-in apps and widgets. I'll encourage you to check it out. So we got everything. We got progress bar, toolbar, snack bar, slider, etc. The one thing that this theme, the free one, doesn't have is the forms, but we will build our own form in this. But if you don't want to build it by yourself, you can upgrade to pro version. Alright, so we got all the basics done. So our app is up and running. We got the template and we got the app. Okay, so let's do some coding part and get to a point where we can say that our UI thing is ready. So like I told you, we are building a let me make some notes also, because right now we will need that contact management system just like Google, right? So your reference is https contacts.google.com. That's what we are trying to build some pieces of it. All right, so first we did was first step is we did npm node check node hyphen hyphen version, then we did npm hyphen hyphen version, and then we did npm install. Okay, and this you do after you have downloaded the template. Again, I have selected the Material Pro template or theme. You can download anything, and that URL is again wrappixel.com. If you have any difficulty in WrapPixel, let me know. I can connect you to the founder directly. I know them and they are really nice folks. Alright, so once you have got it, then verify the package.json and npm install. Once you have done that, then we do a sanity check by running the application ng-serve. Okay, so here is the thing that gets tricky now. So we have to build contact management system, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to use concept called lazy loading. Okay, and we are going to generate some components, okay, that we'll require, and maybe we'll throw in some services that we need. Okay, I think that's what we will be doing it for today. Got it? All right, I think that's a good plan to start with. So let's go ahead and do that piece now. I am in the project folder, and here what I'm going to do is generate first a routing module, okay, and then we'll convert it into a lazy loading. So the command that I'll run is ng generate module, and I'll call the module as contacts, right? And I'm saying I want it routing. Alright, so this default project, okay, spelling mistake, make sure that you don't make the spelling mistake like me. Alright, and it generated our module and a routing in Angular source app. If you see, you will see contacts. It generated routing and module file. Okay, so those are the two things that it added. Now I'll go to app routing.ts. That's where all the routes are. And what we are going to do is throw in a new route for our module that we want to access. And we are going to say path, and we are going to say contacts. And here I'm going to just the best way is to just copy the existing one, but if you want I can type it for you, load children, and then this will make it lazy loading for that. And I'm going to say dot slash contact slash contact module dot then dot then, and then I'm going to say m, that is module, for that module, and here we will give the module name. Okay, our module name is contacts module. That's it. So I have made an entry in the app routing. Now it is saying some error. What is the error? Let's check. There is some error. I see here there is an error. Let's save and see what is the error. Okay, here. Sorry, I am so addicted to typing semicolons. Alrighty, so what we did, we have generated a module, right? So we generated a module by the name contacts, and then we ran the command ng generate module. Module name is contacts, and we said we want a routing in it. We made an entry in routes, that is app.routing.ts file. Okay, so we have lazy loaded it, and we are telling that all the paths, all the routes of contact will be under contacts path. Okay, that's about it. And now what we are going to do is we are going to go inside ng source app contacts, and then we are going to generate few components that we will require. Okay, so if you see, there are no components right now in this module, so I'm going to say ng generate c. Now this is also a shortcut. A lot of people, you would see GENERATE, you'll write all of that. Instead we can use shortcut ng generate contact. I'm saying list, that means list all the contacts. So list component is done. Then similarly I'm going to say create, that means create a new contact. Edit, that is edit a contact. See here the components are getting generated, and I'm going to say delete. Okay, and delete, we will not I'll show you both ways, like soft delete and hard delete when we start implementing. And then once we got delete, let's do a search, right? And we got a search, right? So we got all the CRUD operations done. We got create, read, update, and delete, and search. All right, so if you see the module, all the components are imported into the contacts module automatically. It's all good. Now let's go to contacts routing. Okay, and let's throw the routes for each of this particular, since it's a child lazy loaded routes, I'm going to create one parent route for contact, and then I'm going to pass it. So here I'm going to say path, and then I'm going to say children, and here I'm going to say different paths that I want to have it. Let's say I'm going to say, if it's just contacts, it should go to list component. Okay, if it is path is create, then I'm going to go to component and I'm going to say create component. If it is edit, right, and we will edit will always go with an ID, right? So I'm going to say call it component edit component, and then we are going to say, for now I'm going to keep it simple ID without ID today. We will modify it as we move along. I just want to create all the routes first and test them today. Alright, so we got create, update, delete, search, okay, and we got the list which is by default on the parent route. Excellent. So far so good. We got our module done. We generated the contacts, right? We made the entry, then we generated our components, right? Namely list. So why am I making this list is because if you are stuck anywhere, this is what you should refer, and it would really help you that if you missed any step or anything of those sorts. All right, and then we added routes in the contacts module for child routes. Okay, the last thing today that we will do is we will make routes available in contact list component. Okay, that's what we'll do. So I'll go to list and go to component, and for now I'm just going to give a dirty links. We will style them, I promise. Okay, so here we are going to say um, what is the path that we gave? I forgot. Create. Okay, so that's why they say you should have more dates and other dry fruits to increase your memory. All right, so I'm going to throw in a couple of routes and add and then edit. I am coding it live, so you may not be coding it with the speed, but that's okay. Uh, I take your time. There is everybody learns at their own pace. No hurry. If I am coding fast, it only means that I have spent so much time in training and learning. So you will get there with me, trust me. Alrighty. So now we made the list in the component. Let's fire up and see how it looks. We are in directory. I'll go to source folder, and here I'm going to say ng serve. That's the command that you give to run the Angular application. Alright, so far we have generated a lazy loading module, and we made an entry in our app routing. We generated few components, created a custom module. Alright, so now I'm going to test it. Let's see how it looks. Contact is not available, so it's going to not found. But if I say contacts, it will give me all the links, which is create, add, edit, search, and delete. Click on create, it says create works. Go back, create, click on add is not working. It's not add, right? It's create, I believe. It's these two are same, right? Add and create. Why did I write twice? Okay, create, edit, search, and delete and list, right? So one more thing, I'll say list, and here I'm going to, okay, here I'm going to say list. So far so good. So here you have contact list, you have create, go back, you have edit works, and you have search works, and this search should be mapped to, oh, I just copied here, so search component. So now you have it. So click on search works, and delete works. Delete is also pointing to edit. Okay. Alright, so delete works now. So we got all our child routes done for this particular component. We will style them, we will implement much more things, but one step at a time. Today's task is done. Today we wanted to set up our UI theme, run the application, generate a module, create some routes, basic routes, and we'll also need a module. I forgot, almost forgot. And you guys, I don't know if you already told me. If not, you should be reminding me in when we are coding. You should tell me. And then inside contacts, we should have a ng generate component. We call it view. So let's put a, and we will parameterize them with IDs, dynamic IDs, which means you can see them. View component. Alrighty, beautiful. So we got view. I'll add it in the list and test it once. Whenever you're writing code, unless you're really sure, always prefer testing because that would really help you, and less errors that way. So ng serve, let's see. I hope I'm not going too fast. If you feel it's too fast, let me know in the comment section, or if the pace is okay. Alright, so view works. Excellent. Alright, so great. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 components in place. We got the our um, module also ready, so we can throw them in that particular nav bar as well. That is your shade, I think, menu items, right? Okay, so in the menu items, I'm going to add one more item here at the top, and I'm going to say contacts, and I'm going to say contacts and link. And here you see contacts is added. Now when I click on it, it is on contact. When I click on dashboard, I can navigate it back to contact. I can go to list, I can go to view, contact, and so on and so forth. So our primary task for today is done. I don't need so many, to be honest. We don't need all of this, but we'll keep it for reference. We'll delete it maybe in the third or fourth episode once we are done with building the UI. All right, to close this episode, I will just throw in one simple um, contacts. All right, so that's about it, and that completes our task that we wanted to build today. Um, that's a good start, I would say, and I'm I want to close, but I keep on adding, right? Yeah, and mat card again. I will do all of that pieces. I don't want to jump into today. We'll do it nicely from next episode once we do the backend setup. Okay. So that being said, we'll learn about Flex module. We'll use layout to design and all that. So yeah, that completes our today's task, which is to set up the UI, and we are done. In the next episode, we will do the backend setup first. We'll make sure that our API is up and running through using Json server. And yeah, so join me in the next episode. We'll continue live coding, and I hope you're learning from me and from this particular tutorial. If you like my work and tutorials, please consider giving YouTube super thanks. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.